What is up, awesome people of the internet? Guys, happy Friday, everybody. We made it to another Friday. Happy Friday. What a great week. What a great week in just life. What a great week in women's hoops. What a great week for women's sports, guys, this week. We saw some news just come down the pike yesterday that's not women's basketball related, but it is pretty cool. And I did want to just talk about it. I did just want to talk about it real quick. Guys, just so you all aware, again, not women's basketball related, but something, actually, before I get into that, welcome to Quita in the Mornings. My name is Quita. We are in the mornings, and we're talking about some women's hoops. So make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and tell a neighbor, tell a friend that Quita Loves Sports is on the internet every single morning talking about some women's hoops. Here's the thing. Here's the non-women's basketball thing. I wanted to just mention it, that Athletes Unlimited is more than just a basketball organization. Athletes Unlimited runs several sports, including softball and lacrosse as well. And it was announced yesterday that MLB is going to have a partnership. They are investing, I believe, like 8 figures worth of money into Athletes Unlimited. Of course, this is specifically for their softball league. However, this is just income that's going to help to legitimize even further Athletes Unlimited. And while, again, this has nothing to do with the basketball part of Athletes Unlimited, I think this is huge. And I think that this investment in softball will allow Athletes Unlimited, the organization, to have more money to spend in other things. So like some of the money they were putting towards the softball product, they can now allocate that to other things because we have more money going to that softball specific division. So I think that's awesome. Again, on this channel, I focus on women's basketball, but I love women's sports as a whole, including softball. And when I saw that this news come through yesterday, I was like, heck yes, let's go AU. Get this money from Major League Baseball. And it just sort of legitimizes Athletes Unlimited, legitimizes softball. It's awesome. So again, not women's basketball related, but women's sports related. Here on this channel, we supporting women's sports. This is great for softball. And maybe this will have some trickle down effect to AU basketball. But yeah, fantastic news. Anyway, let's continue on with the great news yesterday, because yesterday, as you all know, me and Mama went to the Sky versus Dallas Wings game. And here's the deal. Yesterday, I sort of you all know I've been a fan of women's sports, or sports in general, for a very long time. Like I love sports. And yesterday it was like I fell in love with sports all over again. Now, very dramatic statement. You're like, what the heck? That's weird. It is. It's kind of dramatic. But if you've ever been in a building when your team pulls out a gritty emotional win, then you know exactly what I mean. You know exactly what I mean. Yesterday, me and Mama was at Wintrust Arena for the Sky versus Dallas Wings game, and it reminded me of what makes being a fan so powerful. It was the joy, it was the worry, it was the panic, it was the relief. Yeah, at times, it is not rational. It doesn't always make sense. But in a way, that's kind of the point. That's what fandom is. It is a full body experience that drags you through every emotion in the chart and leaves you wanting more. Now, I came into the arena at Wintrust yesterday hoping the Sky would finally get their first win. But to be honest with you, I wasn't too confident. Here's the deal. We saw this, on Tuesday, where it looked like the Sky was about to win. I started a live stream, and turns out they ended up losing. You know, I've been frustrated overall with some of the various aspects of this team this season, right? I've been frustrated with the rotations. the shot selection sometimes, the late game decisions, and the defense, and ultimately the turnovers as well. Like so many Sky fans, I've watched the potential that this team has, and I just wanted them to fully unlock it in a game. And then it seemed like something clicked. From the opening minutes of the game, Camilla Cardoso looked engaged. She looked motivated, guys. She wasn't just tall. She wasn't just a tall girl standing out there. No, she was an involved player who was making an impact, and her team was actually looking for her. And as a result, Camilla, player of the game. This was her game, and she showed up and showed out in this one. And again, I love to see it. Camilla Cardoso, when it's all said and done, finishes with 23 points, 8 rebounds for Camilla. She was calling for the ball. You know, she was out there doing her thing. Yes, defensively, she still has to get better. Absolutely. Defensively, that is still a thing that has to get better for Camilla. However, watching her play yesterday was absolutely huge. Absolutely huge, guys. And we all know that Camilla, you know, she vibes off of other people, right? She needs to be motivated to kind of make some stuff happen. And yesterday, it seemed like because her team got her involved early, she was absolutely doing her thing in that game. Absolutely doing her thing. Okay? She looked like the player that we all knew she could be, right? The player that, you know, was running the floor like she did at South Carolina, right? It was great to see her be in rhythm from the jump. And even through foul trouble, be impactful when she came back in towards the end of the game. And then the game got kind of tense, right? Late in the fourth quarter, the game was slipping. The momentum was swinging towards Dallas's way because of the fantastic play of Arike Ogunbowale, which I'm going to talk about in a second. Momentum was slipping. And my stomach was a little bit like, I'm feeling some knots because this was a familiar feeling. The Chicago Sky had the game. A fantastic first quarter. And they held on in the second quarter, and we go to halftime, and the Sky have a pretty good lead. It's looking pretty good. But then here comes Dallas. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how this is going to look. But then we see Ariel Atkins, Courtney Vandersloot, Angel Reese step in and play like seasoned pros, guys, and make winning plays. It's not all about being flashy. It's not all about being loud. It's about being precise. Okay? And for Angel Reese, you know, hey, here's the thing. I don't care what the box score says. I don't. What I look at when it comes to players is how did they impact the game? How did they impact winning? And I'm going to tell you, Angel did. She showed up when it mattered in the fourth quarter, actually all throughout the game, making some fan-freaking-tastic passes. She ended up with 5 assists in this game? Huge. 5 assists. Yeah, only 6 points. Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Does she still need to make her shots in the paint? Yeah, sure. Absolutely. But 5 assists in this one. 6 points, 9 rebounds. She was making some darts of passes, including one pass in, what was that, the fourth quarter, where it was a fast break opportunity. I believe it was Courtney got it up to Angel. Angel had Camilla running to the basket. And Angel throws this fantastic angled pass to Camilla. In real time, I thought that ball was about to be stolen. I was like, how in the world did she get that to Camilla? How did she do that? Fantastic pass. Camilla gets it in stride, makes the shot, and it was just like, man, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That is how you show up when it matters, okay? Her passing down the stretch was smart. Her instincts were undeniable towards the end of this game. She came back in with a couple minutes left to go in the game, and she made an impact. Now, again, best stats in the world? No. But how can you make an impact? How can you help winning? And that's what she did. That's what she did yesterday. And I got to talk about Beck Allen. Beck Allen. Crazy. Okay. Beck Allen was absolutely amazing. Okay. So here's the deal. Can we say this out loud? Let's say this out loud. Okay. And this is both as a fan of the Sky and also as a neutral observer, because I'm truly not sure who could have watched all 5 of the Chicago Sky games this year and say that Kia Nurse still needs to be in the starting lineup. I don't know how you can look at these 5 games and see that. Here's the deal. Say it out loud. Beck Allen needs to start. Beck Allen helps the Sky on offense because she can do more than shoot threes. She can take care of the ball. She can put the ball on the floor. She can make some stuff happen. Now, is Beck Allen going to score a ton of points? No, she's not. But yesterday, she did pretty good. 13 points for her. She is able to score off the dribble. She's able to dribble the basketball, pass the basketball without getting it turned over. And she actually can play some defense. Now, again, is she the best defender in the world? No, she's not. But she can play some defense. And I don't understand it. And in the fourth quarter, Tyler Marsh was about to put Kia Nurse back in. We saw a lineup of, it was Camilla, Angel, Beck at the 3. Ariel Atkins at the 2, and Courtney Vandersloot at the 1. That lineup was doing good in the fourth quarter. And then in comes Kia Nurse running to the scores table. And I was like, why are you putting Kia Nurse in this game at this point? Why are you putting Kia Nurse in? But while Kia Nurse was at the scores table waiting to come in the game, we see Beck Allen knock down, I believe it was a 3. I believe she knocked down a 3. And then Kia Nurse gets called back to the bench. So she goes back to the bench, and then she sits there for the rest of the game. Kia Nurse was about to come in this game. She was about to come in this game, and it was like, why? Luckily for Beck Allen, she made the 3-point shot. And then we see, Tyler be like, okay, come back to the bench. Beck Allen's making some threes. Though I think she made 2 threes actually, and both of them were in the fourth quarter. But yeah, anyway, that's the thing. I think Beck Allen is just the better player. She just is. She makes everything a little bit smoother. And it finally felt like Coach stayed with the winning lineup. Now, yes, it took some time. Yes, it was growing pains, but last night it finally felt like a team. It felt like the Sky didn't just play. It felt like they played together, and they played like they wanted to truly win together. And that was awesome. So when the buzzer finally sounds and the Sky secures their first win of the season, guys, the joy I felt was so much bigger than just a notch in the win column. This felt like a earned victory through all the ups and downs on the season so far, all the missed shots, the frustrated lineups. We stuck around. And that's the magic of being a fan. You care deeply about something you cannot control, but you care, and you feel it all the way through. You are on an emotional roller coaster, even though you know it might break your heart. Though it's sports, so it's not that dramatic. But you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. And when it finally goes your way, and you finally get the dub, it means everything. So, to everybody who is, regardless of your team, regardless if your team is Dallas or New York or Vegas or Golden State, Indiana, wherever, Washington, whatever, whoever your team is, continue to show up. Continue to buy tickets to games, buy season tickets to whatever WNBA team is near you. Still show up and cheer. Still believe. Even when your team goes on a losing skid, even when things look a little messy, when things are pretty unpredictable and hard, the fans are the heartbeat of sports. We are. And it's up to us to embrace that. Fully embrace that. All right. So the win last night, it was for the Scott fans. And truly, I wouldn't trade that feeling for just about anything. So with that being said, let's go Sky. All right, let's get to some less fandom talk. But yeah, I wanted to talk about it. All right. Okay. Thank you so much, LL Cool for the super chat. Says, my favorite play was when she dove for the ball. Yes, in the fourth quarter, Camilla Cardoso dove for that basketball. And I think me and Mama talked about it in the stream yesterday. We were saying that play was because Camilla was engaged throughout the game. She really wanted it. And normally, I wouldn't expect Camilla to be diving for that basketball in that situation. But she did because she was like, no, my team needs it. I'm in this thing. I am in this thing. She was fully engaged. And that leads to really good results like that. And we ended up getting the ball back. Her efforts were rewarded. They were rewarded. Okay? Marcus says Angel's not involved in the offense like she was last year. She is involved in the offense, though. Her role is different. She's more of someone who's going to hang out around the three-point line than hang out in the paint. Her role is different. She's running. She's doing a different thing. But I don't know how you could see the game yesterday and say she's not involved. She was involved in this game. All right. Now, in terms of doing a large amount of the scoring and whatnot, is if that's what you mean, then yeah, sure, she wasn't scoring. She wasn't. I think that's okay. Again, being involved, making an impact does not require you to score. There's other things you can do, and I thought she did the other things. Hustle, smart IQ, smart basketball IQ at the end of the game. Case in point, we got several examples, okay? This guy had the lead, and Angel was inbounding the basketball. We had seconds left to go in the game. Angel inbounding the basketball. Sloop just couldn't get open. There was a chance of us hitting that 5 second notch in terms of like turning over the basketball. And Angel, who's inbounding the basketball, she sees that she can't get it in to somebody who's open without risking a turnover. So what does she do? She calls a timeout. She doesn't force it. Now, you may say, well, who cares? That's just a small thing. That's a small thing that helps to win games. Because I have seen other players decide to force it in that situation when they have a timeout. And they force it, they get the ball stolen, and boom. Now they're running behind and they just gave an open layup. It's not the only thing. Her passes to Camilla all night yesterday. I think five off of the 5 assists she had, I think most of them were to Camilla. They were all really, really good passes. Okay? You know, again, I don't need Angel to lead the team in scoring. I don't think that's necessary. Here's the deal. What does it take to win? What it takes to win is to play with some high basketball IQ. And that's what she did. And that's good. You know, I think some people are just like, oh, she has to score a whole bunch of points or it's a failure. Or, blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, dude, what are we talking about here? Why? Do we want to win or what? And her play yesterday was very impactful. She doesn't have to score the most points to make an impact, okay? Dog, if you watch the game, yeah, Shamika, if you watch the game, you know how she impacted this game. You would know. But again, this is why I tell y'all it is so important to not just look at the box score. You actually have to watch these games. You have to watch the games. You can't just be like, she was 2 for 6 from the field, and which she was. You know, you could say, she didn't have a doubles and rebounds and blah 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 blah. Okay, well, how did she play? Wasn't Angel a really good defensive player yesterday? She was a big impact for this team on defense. Her and Ariel Atkins with the stops. Ariel Atkins with the stops late. Oh, great. That's why we got Ariel Atkins. I'm just saying. You have to do more than just a casual glance at the box score and think you know what happened. Okay? Okay? You have to. You have to do more. You know? Even on the play when it was like 30 something seconds left to go. And we saw Camilla do a pick and roll action with Courtney Vandersloot. Courtney gives the ball to Camilla. Camilla dumps it down to Angel, who could have attempted the layup, the contested layup. But what does Angel do? She realizes that she might get her shot blocked, so she makes the smart decision. And she gets the ball to Beck Allen in the corner. Beck Allen shoots it over to Ariel Atkins. Ariel Atkins pretends like she's about to shoot the 3, goes inside a little bit, and goes for the 2-point bucket to put the Sky up by 5. Huge, guys. Now, that's a hockey assist. That didn't count as an actual assist. But what I'm saying is, can you be smart? Can you make the right plays? Can you have good basketball IQ? And she did. When it mattered the most in the fourth quarter, she showed up. And she made an impact. Okay? Okay. Now, was she the best player on the court? No, she wasn't yesterday. Best player on the court for the Sky was Camilla Cardoso. The best player on the court, period, was Arike Ogunbowale. And let me talk about Arike real quick. Y'all, Arike is one of those players that when she is off, she is very off. She is. She's very, very, very off. Right? Arike can go in spells of just horrible gameplay. You know? Like she could have a game where she's basically missing all the shots that she takes. Right? A game that she's not very impactful. A game that she's shooting bad and yada, yada, yada. But yesterday, Arike Ogunbowale was on one. And I don't understand why she specifically had to do that against the Chicago Sky. But I'm just saying, she was on one yesterday. 37 points for Arike. She shot the ball very efficiently. She shot 56% from the field. And the thing, and she was knocking down three-pointers left and right. It was to the point where it was like, man, can she miss from the three? She knocked down 6 threes. 6 threes, guys. Arike was on fire. She was fire. Absolutely fire in this game. And here's the thing I also want y'all to know. There is a thing out there that people say, oh, Arike, all she do is shoot. She don't pass the ball. She don't do this and she don't do that. Yeah, Arike was passing it yesterday. She was passing it and getting her teammates involved. 7 assists for Arike Ogunbowale. So like she was locked in. She was locked in. Now, did the Dallas Wings win? No, they did not. However, Arike played her game. That's the Arike that we all know and love. Regardless of what team you cheer for, that's the Arike that we like. Yes, she is absolutely doing her thing. Okay. Also, guys, if y'all could make sure to hit that like button, that really does help the channel out a whole lot. Please hit that like button. We got about 300 people in the chat on YouTube, but we only have 79 likes. If y'all could, please help me out by hitting that like button. That really would help the channel. All right. Also, guys, if y'all could just share these with other people. I definitely noticed that, like, it was like several weeks ago when before the WNBA season started, when I was just talking about the breaking news about the NCAA transfer portal and whatnot, or I was talking about like something major dramatic that happened and blah blah blah. We was rocking and rolling with like crazy amount of views and crazy amount of stuff that was happening on the morning show. And it feels like now that I'm just primarily talking about the WNBA and primarily talking about like actual games that are happening, feels like less people are rocking out with me. But that's okay. I do appreciate the ones who are here, because y'all rocking around with like real hoops, real stuff that's happening on the court, and I thank y'all for that. We are trying to grow this thing and not just make this when drama happens or yes, for sure. I want you all to come here to make sense of what's happening in women's basketball. I want you all to come here to make sense of what's happening in terms of breaking news. But I also want y'all to hop on the channel and rock out for just consistent news about games, like actual games that are happening as well. So thank y'all for y'all support. Okay. W Brazil, I think you're right. Says sadly, if the Sky would have lost, you would have had higher numbers due to the trolls. I actually think you're right. Unfortunately, I think you're right. Thank you so much. Next Level Boxing for the super chat says, is it okay to say the Wings are a bad team currently? Yeah, they're a bad team. Yeah. They're a bad team. But they can absolutely turn it around. They can turn it around. All right? This Dallas Wings team can turn it around. I don't think all is lost. I don't. Because this Dallas Wings team does have talent. It's just, can they pull it all together? Can they pull it all together? It's not over. Again, the season just started, right? There's 6 games in. Yeah. They got a lot of time left. A lot of time left. Now, I do want to talk about the players on Dallas. Overall, I think they all kind of played their game, right? And kind of did what they normally do, right? Dejanay was doing her thing and knocking down points, right? Paige was doing her thing as well. She almost had a double-double. 15 points, 8 assists for her. Maisha was pretty decent, and Tiara McCowan, guys. Tiara McCowan, this may have been her best game that I've seen in a while. And here's the deal. Again, it's not all about points. It's about the eye test. And the eye test showed yesterday that Tiara McCowan made a big time impact. Now, y'all would have seen in this game, Tiara McCowan, she comes off the bench now. She doesn't start anymore. She comes off the bench. And when she came in, she actually made a pretty substantial impact on the defensive end for the Dallas Wings. When she came in, basically the sky post couldn't really do anything after that. The sky posts were rocking out. They were absolutely making an impact and scoring on the offensive end. And Tiara McCowan came in this game and played some defense. Okay? She was a big body in there that was preventing the sky post players from doing what they wanted to do. When Tiara was in, it was the guards that was doing more stuff for the sky than the post, because she was a big body who made her impact known. Now, again, does Tiara McCowan score a lot of points yesterday? No, she does not. She has 6 points in this game, 8 rebounds, but she does have 2 blocks. She does alter a ton of shots, and she showed up yesterday. Now, the issue, guys, is that, that's not a consistent thing for Tiara McCowan. That's the issue. Right? And so while I really thoroughly enjoyed Tiara McCowan's performance, and again, here's the deal. When I'm talking about my fan hat has been off for a while. All right, my fan hat is off, and so this is me, Quita, the unpaid analyst, which is what people are saying in the chat. I'm just seeing, I'm peeping game, and I'm talking about it. Okay. And I thought Tiara had a really impactful game. And this Dallas Wings team needs to see more of that, because the fact that Dallas started Maisha Hines-Allen at the center, well, her and Alyssa Smith were both playing that post position together, starting. That's why Camilla went off. Did y'all notice that? Who was on the court when Camilla was going off? Who was on the court? Maisha and Alyssa. That's who was on the court when Camilla was dominating in this game. That's who was on the court. And when Tiara came in, she stopped a lot of that stuff. She stopped a lot of the post play. I'm just saying. In order for Dallas to truly, truly have a chance to win games, we have to see Tiara McCowan make an impact consistently. She doesn't have to score a lot of points, but can you consistently play some defense? Can you consistently hustle and ensure that the other team does not score in the post? If you can play stronger in the post, you will get your starting spot back. Because we saw when Tiara McCowan came in the game, when she played her 23 minutes, when she came in, she made an impact, guys, on the defensive end. So I'm just saying, this Dallas Wings team, part of the reason why this team cannot win a game, part of the reason why this team is struggling is because their post stuff is screwed up. They're too small. They're too small. Too small. And Arike can score all the points she wants. But if you're giving up a ton of points in the post, well, it's a different thing. It's a different thing. So I'm gonna just say the key to the Dallas Wings is getting Tiara McCowan to the point where she can go back to being a starter. Because up to this point, I felt like she hadn't really played like she should be a starter. Yesterday, I thought she played a whole lot better. I'm sorry. They won against Connecticut. I'm sorry. Yeah. I mean their second game. Yeah, they won against Connecticut the other day. That was Paige's return back to UConn or Connecticut as a whole. Anyway. Yes. I do know that they did win a game. But anyway, in order for them to win more games, my point still stands. Yeah, sure, you got to win against a team like a Connecticut because they're also a team that overall struggles in the paint. Not totally, because you do have Tina Charles who can show up, and you do have Olivia Nelson-Ododa, but like overall, you don't have as many weapons. Okay, so I think something needs to change. Either Maisha needs to go to the bench or Nilissa needs to go to the bench, yeah, I'm just saying, because Tiara, if she can play like she did yesterday, which we don't know if she can consistently do that. But if she can, I'm just saying, I'm just saying that could be kind of fun. That could be kind of fun to see. Because I thought yesterday Arike and Paige did their job, right? Dejanay did her job. But you need more from the post, okay? And you need more for the bench. Like Maddie Seegers was not as impactful as I thought she was going to be. But they have pieces. That's the tough part about Dallas. They have pieces, and I think they're better than their record. However, you gotta put it all together. You have to put it all together. You have to. Janera says starting means very little. Honestly, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Because for Dallas, I truly believe if Tiara McCowan would have started, I don't think Camilla would have went off as much as she did in that first quarter. Camilla went off because not only was the team looking for her, not only was she making shots, but also because there was not a big body for Dallas to stop her. When Tiara McCowan came in, we saw that overall the scoring in the post dropped from the post players, from the sky. Camilla didn't do as much when Tiara was in the game. So my point is, starting does matter. Sometimes it doesn't because it's like, oh, who finishes the game and whatnot. But at the same time, I don't think Camilla would have did all that if Tiara was playing. I'm just if she was starting. I'm just saying, like personally. Now we all may disagree with that, and that's totally fine. But like, that's my personal opinion about what I saw when Tiara McCowan came in the game. Now, as a Sky fan, am I happy that Tiara didn't start? Yes. But as a just hooper, as someone who just watches hoops, I was about to say for a living. I don't for fun, You gotta admit what you saw. Okay? So I'm just saying, I am just saying. All right, so Chicago Sky are 1-4 on the season. They finally get their first dub, and we'll see how this season continues for the Sky. We will absolutely see because the first win is huge, and that's a lot, and that's fantastic. But you got more games to get to, and again, first win for the head coach Tyler Marsh. So shout out to Tyler for getting the first dub of the season. All right, next up, we also did see the New York Liberty take on the Golden State Valkyries. This was a close game. I was sitting next to someone who was following the game. The game was happening at the same time as the Chicago Sky game, and somebody was following it, and they were like, Golden State Valkyries have the lead against the New York Liberty, and I was like, what? Golden State is beating the New York Liberty right now? I'm confused. What? You know, how is that possible, right? We were in the fourth quarter, and she was like, Dallas, or not Dallas. Oh my goodness. Golden State is beating New York right now. We don't have that much time left in the fourth quarter. And I'm like, okay, well, keep me posted. Keep me posted on this game. Keep me posted. And in typical New York Liberty fashion, even when they have a bad game, they ultimately end up getting the dub. Full transparency here. Full transparency, guys. I couldn't watch the game live. I had to listen to someone's commentary about the game as it was happening. And I ended up watching the highlight of all the points scored and blah, blah, blah. But just watching a 9-minute highlight video is not the full game. It's not all 40 minutes. And so, full transparency, I'm not going to go in detail about this game. I'm just going to say that it's a very close game. And ultimately, the New York Liberty were able to pull through. But yeah, shout out to New York. And also, shout out to the Golden State Valkyries for getting this close, okay? Now, people are saying that the refs saved the New York Liberty. Now, again, I didn't watch the full game, so I'm not gonna do a deep dive recap and something I didn't totally watch. Again, I was following the game as it was happening. The Golden State Valkyries did have the lead with about like 4 minutes left or something like that. But hey, there's some players who are good at drawing fouls and other players who are not good at drawing fouls. Okay. Brianna Stewart, hey, she was the free throw merchant yesterday. And Quintus, I probably will watch the game sometime today. Like the full thing, not just the highlights. Because highlights, again, don't tell the story. Highlights and box score doesn't tell the whole story. So, yeah, anyway, keep that in mind. All right. Here's the deal. The impact of the Golden State Valkyries is just huge. Looks like Salon led the Valkyries in points, 18 points, 13 rebounds for her. And New York. Brandon Stewart finished with 27 points, but, wait, there's more. A thing to note is she attempted 19 free throws. 19 free throws for Brianna Stewart. Okay, wow. And again, I'll rewatch the game so I can really see what happened. But free throws, man, that was a huge in this one. Sabrina Ionescu, 24 points. 6 boards, 4 rebounds for her. And Kennedy Burke is in the starting lineup yesterday. She ended up having 11 points, 7 rebounds. I continue to, and this is not even talking about yesterday. This is talking about in general. I continue to be impressed with Kennedy Burke. I think she is a really, really good, impactful player. In some ways, not totally, but in some ways, she kind of is filling the gap from what Kayla Thornton from last year, right? I think she's really filling the gap for Kayla Thornton. Yes, Kennedy Burke was on this team. However, I don't believe she was this impactful at all. But I think this year, I think she realizes that, hey, your team needs you. You're gonna get about 20 plus minutes a game. We need you to step up, and we need you to show out. And I think Kennedy Burke really is kind of filling that hole of what Kayla Thornton was doing last year, and I think that's huge. Whether that's shooting a three, whether that's just making whatever shot is available to you. I think Kennedy Burke is fun. I really do. Now again, I didn't watch the full game yesterday, but from all the other games I've seen so far this year, Kennedy Burke she's really good, and she's really, really, really fun. But yeah, New York Liberty gets the dub squad. This is a game that Natasha Cloud didn't have to do too much. at all. Though she is the she player of the week for week 1, which was pretty awesome. She's someone who you know, that huge spurt of greatness that we saw in the first 3 games just kind of has dimmed down a little bit. It has dimmed down. Where the last 2 games, specifically against the Golden State Valkyries, she hasn't been as impactful on the scoring end. She's still very impactful on the offensive end, getting her teammates involved and whatnot, making an impact. But on the scoring end, not as impactful. And I think that's fine. Like, I think this is probably more of what we will see from Tosh Cloud when her teammates are not making it happen in terms of scoring. When Stewie and Sabrina aren't hitting shots, when they're not doing their thing, I think we'll see Tosh Cloud get 20 some points or something like that, make a big impact. When they are making their shots, I think we're gonna see her score less, but still be very impactful, still have great defense, still do her thing, and so that is something to note. Okay. All right. El Kune says I need to get me a Cloud jersey. Her jersey for the Mercury was really cool because it was they incorporated a cloud in her jersey name, which was, I thought, kind of cool. But anyway. All right, guys, that is the stream. I don't have anything else to really talk about. Jason, I'm not sure why you're shocked. I mean, if you've actually been watching the Sky games, the last couple of games, you know that's Angel's a very willing passer, very, very willing, and you have seen that she's been doing that, especially the last 2 games, especially. But yeah, she's a passer. That's what she hangs her hat on a lot of ways. What up? I'm gonna say Jay Jordan. What up, Jay Jordan TV? What up? Says was at the game last night with both our bigs out. Golden State Valkyries was getting whatever they wanted in the paint uncontested. Okay. Thanks so much for the insight. Appreciate you. Dave is asking, is Jonquel hurt? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, actually, I do know. Yeah, she is hurt. She has a right hamstring injury. Yeah, she's hurt. That's why Kennedy Burke got the starting spot. But yeah, Jonquel is hurt. She did not play yesterday. All right. All right, guys. Thank y'all so much for your support. Thank you so much for your support. Guys, this has been Quita in the mornings, because my name is Quita. We are in the mornings, and yeah, we're having a good time. All right, so make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button on your way out. Thank you. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next one. Oh, actually, no. Before we do that, we got a whole slate of games tonight, and I hope y'all are planning on watching those games, because tonight we got a huge slate, and they are all happening on Ion. So multiple games at the same time. We got Connecticut versus Indiana. That's taking place at 7:30 Eastern time. At the same time, we have the New York Liberty versus the Washington Mystics, also at 7:30 Eastern time. We have the LA Sparks versus the Las Vegas Aces at 10. We got Minnesota versus Phoenix, also at 10. And then Atlanta versus Seattle, also at 10. Guys, I will be going live tonight to watch some of these games. I will be watching them. I'll have them on the big screen where I'm watching multiple games at the same time, where I can keep you all posted on what's happening. I'll have one main game that I'll be watching And then I'll keep tabs on the other games and just kind of keep you all in the loop. All right, guys, that's it. That's what we got. That's what we got. That's the stream. I will see y'all tonight, so make sure to rock with me on this channel for the live streams as we talk through the games that happened tonight. What a great week of women's hoops. We got some more games to get to tonight, and yeah. Thank y'all for rocking with me, guys. Just so you all know, I will not be streaming tomorrow, or I will not have Quita in the mornings tomorrow or Sunday. I am doing this starting now. I'm doing a new thing where Quita in the mornings will be a Monday through Friday show. Monday through Friday. All right, Monday through Friday. I want to allow more time for me to not just cover stuff that happened the day before, but also like cover deep dives and all that stuff, and I need more time to do that. Okay, so yeah, this show will be Monday through Friday. Now, will I go live at times on Saturdays in the morning if I feel like it's warranted? Yes, but it will not be called Quita in the mornings. It'll be called Random Live with Quita or something like that. So Quita in the mornings will be Monday through Friday. That's it. Monday through Friday. All right. I will probably still be live every day doing something, even on the weekends. But it will not be Quita in the mornings. Quita in the mornings is just Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Saturday, Sunday, I'll be live. It'll be something else. All right. I'm trying to really balance this thing out. I think I went too extreme with the every single day thing. And then I started to miss some days because I was extremely tired or blah, 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 blah. I want to under promise and over deliver on this channel. And so I didn't like the idea of like, there were some days where I'm like, I really can't do it. And then I have to cancel. And then y'all are very understanding about it. But at the same time, I want y'all to be able to consistently rely on this thing. Not like, oh, is Quita going to go live today or is she not going to feel it? You know, is the morning show happening or is she just not feeling it? You know, I want this to be a consistent thing that you truly can rely on, like you can rely on a TV show coming on, right? TV shows come on the same time every day. Like it's like clockwork. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I want this to be like that, which also means starting the streams on time. Yes, that is something that I'm working on, which 100% will get worked out. Where it's like I can't, So there's stuff that I'm working on. Okay, and I know this channel is not perfect. The stream is not perfect yet. Right? The show is not perfect yet, but trying to make it better. All right. And again, thank y'all so much for rocking with me. The announcement that I had for this week looks like it's actually gonna be posted next week. Because last week I was teasing an announcement, and I was like, oh yeah, it's coming this week, but it's actually got pushed back. It's coming next week. So now you can still ponder about what in the world that's gonna be. You're right. Here I am with these long exits. Okay. Anyway, I'll see y'all in the next one. Be on the lookout for the channel next week. We got some cool stuff to say. Anyway, I will see y'all in the next one. All right, until next time, guys. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, share this with somebody. Please. You help the channel out a whole lot when you can share this with someone. So share. All right, see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.